On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Spider-Man the Animated Series will change its name to The Prowler the Animated Series, if Wilson Fisk is a good daddy or a bad daddy, and if Aunt May and Aunt Anna finally get it on. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast where some friends gather around to talk about some comic book TV shows, whichever one they want. This week we're talking about, guess it, guys. Am I hearing Spider-Man the Animated Series? I am.
Spider-Man.
The people want it, and we're going to give it to them. I have, of course, my two best friends here with me. First of all, there's Ryan.
Hey, girl. Sorry, I don't know why or where.
You do have to explain yourself. What overcame you?
I don't know what happened. I guess I didn't clear my throat before I spoke, and when I don't clear my throat, it's not like gruff. It's just like more fun and nice.
You know what? You should try it more often. I was down for it. I liked that vibe.
Fuck you.
Oh, okay. Or there's that one, of course. And we also have Mike here.
What's up, Cassie?
Do you need do you need like a monster? What do you need to get back to your normal self?
Oh, I didn't put my show voice on. Let me clear my throat and drink this big jug of milk. Glug, 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 glug.
Milk
I just want to point out to everybody who is not watching this in the studio, when Mike talks like that, he is wearing a silk robe and his genitals are tucked between his legs. So that's what we all got to witness.
What, you want them out?
Yeah, you freak.
You pervert?
That's
Stop
weird on
turning
you.
around when you dance.
What you didn't mention is, what is it? Pale White Horses is playing just at the softest sound that nobody else could hear, but you can kind of hear it out of my earbuds.
I did forget to mention that.
How dare you forget to mention? Is that the name of the song, Ryan?
I don't know, but that's my
Goodbye Horses. Goodbye Horses.
It really
But you
came
can sing
to him.
that Pale White Horses like they were all death.
I'm gonna let Mike do this whole thing, and
Do you know what I'm talking about at all, Cassie?
No, not at all. So I hope somebody out there does, and they're gonna love what you're putting out there right now. But
this is from a movie that came out in 1991, and that is long before when Cassie recognizes movies, which starts with Shrek.
God, guys, Shrek.
The Shrek demarcation line.
It was a Shrekening for sure for me in my life. We can't talk about any of this though. There's no movies over here. It's comic book TV shows over here. And we
Cassie, what did you think of Thunderbolts?
Definitely saw it. Definitely loved it. And was
Why are
here
you
for a
winking
good
so
time.
much?
Hey,
Yes.
I do want to see it, and especially after you guys talking about it. Like I'm down.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to it the whole time in the theaters. The other 9 people in the theater were very mad at me. There was a lot of shit. Don't go in the void.
As long as you throw an asterisk at the end of every sentence, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Or an obelisk.
What is an obelisk?
Is that like an old newspaper comic reference?
I think it's like a French comic or something.
Yeah,
We're talking comics here, guys. I'm
old and fancy, and it pisses me off.
And I loved it. So 2 different ranges. This week, you guys, we got a big episode because we're talking about the finale of Partners in Crime, The Prowler. We have done it. We've finished up Partners in Crime. We're heroes. They're no longer it's not Partners in Crime, is it?
Partners in Danger. What you were saying is an actual phrase people use.
Yeah, right. That's where that came from.
It's confusing because there haven't been partners on this show for 10 episodes of Spider-Man.
Genuinely was trying to place like why this whole thing is named Partners in Danger.
And it's so nice of them to really go all out for their season finale. They really, really brought the budget.
Okay, we haven't started the segment yet, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Save it. We're dying to get to it. So let's just take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to jump right into The Prowler. All right, boys. This episode starts, and we do have Spider-Man swinging around a city, but it's not his neighborhood. And I can't tell you what's different about this neighborhood because there is still crime, and
More
the people
crime.
still hate him.
Ooh, there's children who don't want Spider-Man in their part of town.
They truly like.
But the person committing the crime, Spider-Man says, "Wow, this person's my age. You're fucking 30, bitch." Like,
Yeah.
in your old neighborhood, was everybody 70? Just a bunch of Silvermanes running around?
It was all fucking Silvermanes. They're either babies or old men committing the crimes in that old neighborhood. But also, like, he wasn't like stuck. He used to live in Queens and suburban Queens, not real Queens. So he's like, well, where I live should be very quiet and mellow. And they don't say what part of town this is. And I don't want to hazard a guess. Even if I'm saying the show is being like this, it will make it sound like I'm the one being like this.
Yeah, because you're the spokesman. So.
Usually you jump on opportunities like that. I was thinking
Not
that...
gonna that. Because I have a clear idea of what the neighborhood I think this is supposed to be.
Tell us off air, like you usually do. I was thinking about a podcast name change when I heard the phrase Partners in Danger, but I'm thinking Suburban Queens.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Suburban Queens, they're also a ska group of all drag queens.
God, these are things that need to exist in this world. Yeah, so he catches this kid and he's like, wow, what's up with this neighborhood? He starts getting real down about being a poor boy now who can't provide for MJ. And I was just like, all right, we're really going through some new things here. We're throwing a lot at the wall.
I mean, does this neighborhood even have gargoyles to talk to?
No. His therapist is out of network now. But he goes home and he's immediately gets confronted by a whole dude in like a whole little suit get up. He's got a mask. You can't tell who this is. But he does reveal himself. We don't gotta wait long. Immediately. It's almost instantly. It's Hobie Brown.
Hobie.
Hobie.
It's also not a name. I like Spider-Man is like us. Does not recognize him.
Yeah. I was worried though. I was like, are we supposed to know? And he's instantly was like, I don't know who you are. So we're in for a bunch of flashbacks.
But this, not for the first time, but rarely done. Hobie Brown takes over the flashback, and it's to stuff we've never seen.
Yeah.
This is not from the show.
And then Spider-Man does the same thing when he's supposed to be listening to Hobie Brown. He has his own flashback to the point where Spider-Man or Prowler multiple times has to be like, hey, are you listening to me? I'm flashing back right now, bitch.
But there's so many flashbacks, like Hobie Brown is just a thug working for Iceberg, a definite Spider-Man villain that we've all heard of before.
We all absolutely
It's crazy.
know Iceberg.
Okay, this episode's going to be centered around the Prowler. A before the 2000s villain people barely knew about. So what are we going to do? Have an even more obscure villain in it. So people are like, well, I've heard of the Prowler at least.
Again, to have it not lead to anything, like these are all new people. Like it was a crazy pull to throw these in for the finale, but I'm here for it.
So we flash back to Hobie Brown where he was, let's say, a couple months ago, and he is a henchman for a crime boss of this neighborhood called Iceberg. And lady and gentleman, I have to ask, what is it about having ice powers that means you must pun your little ice off the entire time?
I was wondering if Batman and Robin had come out this summer before this episode. Like,
and they were like, let's get on that.
Yeah, everybody's going to love this. The Green Goblin isn't like, and I'm out here just gobbling it all up. Like,
God, but he should have been.
I thought for sure it was going to be about green. Of course it was going to be about the fact that he's green. But no, I'm not out here gobbling cock like the rest of you.
I'm green in it.
I want to live in Mike's world's better. Yes, we meet Iceberg, and he immediately hears Hobie is like, I don't like this, I want to take over, basically. Like he's in the elevator of the whole Iceberg's whole place, talking about how he wants to overthrow him, basically. So there are of course cameras, and Iceberg's like, hey, so I know your whole plan, you're a little bitch, I'm gonna turn you into an ice cube and toss you in the lake. Which they only freezes his feet, which why not, I guess.
I mean, if it's a cold lake, he's still gonna be cold all the way up, just mostly frozen in the toesies.
Yeah, it's an ice themed version of the concrete shoes, sleeping with the fishes.
You would know, buddy.
I lived in New York.
I don't know how Hobie breaks free from this. Don't remember how.
he grabs a ladder above him and does a swingy, and the henchmen, there's tiers of henchmen, because Hobie and the other two guys were allowed to wear normal clothes, but the other henchmen are all full-on parka'd up, looking like they are in Antarctica. So that's who, they're the real loyalists, and that's who's trying to kill him. But he grabs a ladder and does like Olympic swings, and they run because they don't want this ice block chipping their teeth out. And then he jumps and lands on it. Instead of shattering his ankles and feet, he just frees them, and then he runs away from them.
Mike, I can't remember, was that ladder already there? Or did Hobie go and buy it at the Hobie Lobby?
Yeah, he went to Hobie Lobby.
Yeah.
And set it all up. And I think this is when we found out that he knows who Peter Parker is. And sees him and Mary Jane.
Not that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
No.
But
he had a run-in with Peter.
Yeah. Yeah, he briefly goes to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's like, you should get a blue-collar job. And he's like, no, I need power. And then he's like, we go to the present, and he's like, and that's when I realized, like, I needed you, because I saw Peter and MJ walking in the street, and, like, they just seemed like they have it all, and then we get a double flashback, because we gotta go to Peter was like, no, you don't even know what that night was, and that night was just him getting an apartment with MJ. That's it.
But feeling real bummed about it. Maybe you shouldn't try to move in and marry somebody in a month after proposing. Maybe save some fucking money, you irresponsible chud.
Absolute fool.
Yeah, it all comes down because he, deals with Mary Jane, and then Peter runs around the corner and becomes Spider-Man, and then gives a awe-inspiring speech about, listen, kid, this is the way it is, see?
Yeah.
Peter Parker takes pictures, and I do all the work, and you better tell everybody in this town that Peter Parker, hands off.
But he in this period, he goes to run after him, and Mary Jane's like, "It's not worth it, bitch. What do you? You know you're marrying Spider-Man. What do you mean it's not worth it? Let him take your purse."
But also, it was $12.
That's what she's like. I don't have anything. I kind of hated that purse. But this is Hobie watching them. He was like, "You had some nice clothes, a full wallet, and the love of a good woman."
And they just got an apartment.
An apartment, so that he had it all. But turns out MJ only had $12, and Spider-Man does turn him over to the cops for $12. He hangs him up, and he's like, "I'll let the cops get you because this is worth it." I was like, "That's wild."
Yeah, way to go, Bruce Wayne. But also, you better tell everyone on the streets Peter Parker's not to be trifled with. Now you're going to jail. Like, that's not a good plan. How is he going to tell people?
Message out?
On Friendster?
The people need to know in this new neighborhood. We then get another flashback to jail, and over there, Hobie saves Fisk's son.
We don't know. Do we know that at first? I feel he just saves this like pretty boy who talks too high and mighty for being in jail.
I mean, I recognize him, but I remember every frame of the show, and I'm never confused or I'm wondering if this flashback was in the show or not. So I knew that it was, of course, the Rose.
The Rose.
Yes, he they're just like in like the kitchen or something, and like somebody knocks over like a whole
shelf.
Yeah, a shelf of cans.
Unless it's a shelf full of shivs, like there's got to be better ways to kill people in prison.
For sure. But this dude was trying to do it with a shelf of cans, and Hobie saved him. So he was like, "You don't know. I know some powerful people. Things are about to turn around for you. Your whole life's about to change."
And he's a big time lawyer that gets him out. But why didn't the Rose get out? The Rose is still in prison as far as we know.
Fisk does not want his son free.
Yeah, Fisk appreciates him being alive, but doesn't want to like hang out with him and like toss a ball around. You think Fisk is that kind of dad?
No.
But he'll get this other guy out.
Yeah.
And once he's out, he's like, "I gotta see who got me out." And that's when we find out it's Fisk. And Fisk is like, "You've saved my son. You get one ask from me, like I'm a genie, basically." He was
third of a genie.
Third of a genie?
Yeah. Because it's one wish instead of three.
He said you have one
Genies
ask.
Famously have three asks, Cassie.
Oh my gosh.
You get one ask, and the only ask you can't ask is for more asks, I believe is what Kingpin said.
It's the number one rule. And he was like, "I just want power." And Fisk is like, "I can absolutely do that for you. Check it out. I got this rad ass suit. And it's full of power."
The stealth battle suit.
Yes, it is called the stealth battle suit. And we go on for 5 minutes about everything the suit has.
Which is
Was it the commercial for the action figure?
Yeah.
If I was a kid, this is what I would love is I didn't like playing with the toys as much as like reading the back about all the cool things that they would do if they were real. But his reveal of, and I call it the stealth battle suit. Like, you need better branding, bro. Like, that'd be like if Spider-Man Taylor or somebody tailored Spider-Man's costume, and the tailor was like, I call it the red and blue jumpy suits. Like, that doesn't work.
He's not
Prowler
on marketing.
suit. Call it the Prowler suit, and then we don't have to have him coming up with his name later.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. But he does go in the suit, and he's like, "There's no strings attached," right? For like 3 times, he's like, "Absolutely no strings attached. I just get this suit, and we're homies, and we're cool." And Fisk is like, "Oh yeah."
He laughs so maniacally, and he does not wait for Hobie to be out of the room. He's like walking away, and he's like,
I would have loved if Hobie, shut the door and then just came back in. I forgot my phone, and Fisk is just crying, laughing.
And this is where we get the embarrassing scene. He then has the suit, and he's like, he tests it out at an abandoned building. He's seeing what all he could do, and he realizes he's very animalistic and is on the prowl while in the suit. So he names himself the Prowler. Cool. And then he immediately goes straight to Iceberg to try to take him down. And they get in a little scuffle.
No, he doesn't want to just get revenge. He wants that throne, right?
Yeah. He wants the full
ice throne.
The ice seat.
Which he does do, and he does the raddest move ever. So he basically takes over, and then all the henchmen who are like the Smash Bro Eskimo guys, like they're all in their little outfits. And they're all like, "Where is Iceberg?" And he basically rings a little bell.
Yeah.
And then he just comes. Iceberg himself, dressed as a butler, comes and serves water to everyone.
I want to be clear here. Ice water, probably. I want to be clear here that this is not just the best part of this episode. This is the best part of the show. I don't understand why people kill their villains or their arch enemies. You fucking make them be butlers.
Humiliate them.
Yes. And you put them on ice.
And he gathered like the whole company. Like I didn't even know there was this many people there. And he was like everyone. And he made him come out with just one glass for himself.
Watch me hydrate.
And everybody was like, "Damn, I guess this is our new leader now."
I'm sorry. If someone came on and made like Cassie deliver us water, that person would be the new host of Superhero Show. Like,
oh, absolutely.
It's just the ultimate. He said he wanted power. That is power.
Yeah. And he wasn't satisfied though. That would have been all I needed. Just that exact moment. I've been like, this whole organization could be yours again. I just needed that moment. But it's not enough for him. He needs all the power. But also the suit all of a sudden starts like shocking him, and we're like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden we find out like Fisk comes to him as a hologram.
Yeah, a drone just shows up. A drone knows where to put the palm to get into the secret brick wall, how to do the elevator come down. The drone shows up and shoots out hologram Fisk, who's just like, that thing needs to recharge. If it doesn't recharge, it will shock you. No, I'm not going to give you the ability to recharge it. Also, if you don't recharge it, it will turn your whole neighborhood ash heap because it is like nuclear fission battery powered.
Yeah, it's somehow tied to his exact block, and like if anything happens to it, it'll blow.
No, because wherever it is, it's like a bomb. He's wearing a bomb. It's not that block, Cassie.
I thought it was like I thought they were straight up saying it was tied to his block.
I'm talking to all of the billionaires right now. Where is this technology of these little drones? Do you know if we had this? Do you know how many times Mike would be at work, just working and quiet, and a little drone fly in, and I would hologram out and be like, "You're a bitch," and then it would just go away. I would do it every day.
I would get so good at skeet shooting because drones, mortal enemy is shotguns.
So many things, actually.
Yeah, a rock will even do, I think. Prowler, then he has to go back to his girlfriend to pout and be sad because that's his move. And when he does, he's there, and all of a sudden another guy comes in, and she's like, "This is my new man. He works a blue collar job, and he doesn't care about power," and it is so devastating.
But he wants to be my husband is such a weird thing. Like, at most, they've been broken up for a month.
That's what I was confused on the timeline.
People
and
move
also
too fast.
What does it, like, he wants to be my husband is a crazy announcement. Like,
he wants to be my husband. He works a normal job. And the guy's like, whoa, on both of those.
It would have been awesome if she said he wants to be my husband, and then it just cut to a close-up of him being like, what? They were very careful to show him in, like, a work-a-day, paycheck to paycheck uniform, right? Like, that was really important to the scene. But also, Mike, what does she say that she cares about with this man?
He'll be
remember?
there. She knows he'll
will-
be there?
She didn't jump off of a fucking building to prove it.
Right.
But apparently that's what love means in this world, is that if the man is just there, regardless of how much he drinks or punches or whatever, if he's just there, then that is all that matters in romance.
Shania Twain wrote a song about that around this time.
Which one?
That don't impress him much. She doesn't care if you're an astronaut or Brad Pitt, as long as you keep her warm in the middle of the night. That's all that matters.
Listen, the
warm
bar
like
is so
farts.
low. It's so easy.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
Um,
never like it's still great to be a man. Like you just don't have to do anything and you're fine. Everyone loves you.
You're a champion. So he's extra sad now, and he's wandering the streets. And on the TV, he sees that Spider-Man is still alive. There was we missed it, but there was a whole battle between Spider-Man and Prowler.
Oh, yeah.
And they go to the bridge, and Prowler like wraps him up. He's got webbing, and he straight knocks him into, I'm gonna say, the Hudson. Why not?
Sure.
He's like, great, killed Spider-Man. That's a check. So now on
all
the
done with
TV, he
that.
sees Spider-Man. He sees Spider-Man still alive, and he's like, dang, maybe I should actually team up with this guy. And that's now the new plan. So he just goes back to find Peter.
Yeah, I think that's when we're caught up. To the flashbacks are done. We'll see. The flashbacks are done. And Hobie and Peter are like, and here's how we'll take out the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's ever seen a single thing based on a comic book, including comic books, the two arch enemies will fight until they realize there's a bigger enemy, and then they will team up. This is how life works.
We are the same, you and I.
It's just a classic. So yeah, they team up. Prowler for this plan. He shows up to get his suit charged to Fisk. But Spider-Man is like, I can basically reroute the charges to give you more power, but like it'll only work like once. So he gets a surprise attack on Fisk, and then Fisk immediately shuts it down.
Yeah, he has the little remote
Mm-hmm.
that
So
does the extra shocks.
That does shock whenever he needs. And that's unfortunate for Prowler. But that's when Spider-Man jumps in, and they get into like a little fighty thing. They barricade the lab where the suit is.
Yeah, Spidey crushes the remote, and then they hack the suit.
Yeah. And they break like just like the belt or something on it.
Yeah.
And at that point, like Fisk yelled to his guys, he's like, "Give me all the laser weapons."
Get
and I
the
was
good
like,
guns.
I was like, hell yeah, Fisk, let's get those laser weapons.
The high
It's 'cause he
intensity
needed to.
laser weapons.
Ugh, the highest intensity ones.
I do
These
that
are
at
too
boot
low
camp.
intensity. Bring me the highest intensity.
These are hit ones for sure. They bust through before they can fully like hack the suit. So then they're shooting off their little lasers. Spider-Man jumps in front of one, like basically takes a bullet for
Yeah.
Prowler.
And then Prowler threatens to blow up the whole building. He's like, "Hey, Fisk, remember what you said? I don't care then. I'll do it to all of us right now. Let us out."
Yeah.
Prowler
Which-
climbs into the lap of that actress in Mysterio and says, "I'm going to blow this whole thing up. I'm just going to keep bringing buildings down."
This plan immediately works. Fisk is like, "Whoa, we're cool." Then they just kind of go their own ways. They escape. Then Spider-Man and Prowler have to have a heart-to-heart on top of a building. Prowler is the new
course.
gargoyle, I guess. But it's Prowler really having the realizations here. He's like, you know what? Maybe love is more important than power. And I'm so proud of the boy for realizing this. Or yeah, pussy, of course, yeah.
Spider-Man should have just pushed him off the building and said, "Wrong answer." That's
Payback
power.
for the bridge.
Tiny shows. That's power.
Prowler says there's a girl named Angela looking for a man to love. She moved on. What the
No.
fuck are you talking
She
about?
has a man.
There's probably many Angelas, but not the one that you're currently talking about, Prowler.
And Peter also, once Prowler has this whole thing, he's like, "Oh my god, you're absolutely right." So then we cut to him giving MJ a bunch of roses, and I don't know, again, he was been worried about money this whole time, and he just got a very expensive bouquet of roses.
She says this is too extravagant.
Also, this
Did you
happens
go
on
to
Mother's
Conroy's
Day.
for this?
Good. This obviously, the amount of Conroys that was mentioned in this episode, clearly they were subsidizing the budget.
And Peter's just like, I realized, I don't even know what his realization was.
Stop worrying about money, even though he never makes it. Like,
Yeah.
let's just have fun.
but they do need to worry about money. But at this moment, they're like, "Let's have fun. Here's roses. Let's eat some waffles." And that's the season, guys. That's the season finale.
Arc.
So we cut Mike off, and by we I mean both me and Cassie, not just me, at the beginning of the episode when he was about to talk about how this is a series called Partners in Danger. And this was about none of it, just the Prowler for no reason. And I have to ask, why would you make this part 13? This entire series was all part 1 through 13, where there is nothing connected, which means you're scaring off people who are just sitting down to watch, even though you can sit down at any episode. And you're also not giving the people who love serialized TV anything that they thought they were in for. Is this just poor X-Men learning?
Yes. I think Partners in Danger ended around episode 6. So they could have just been like, subtitleless rest of season. Or come up with the new, like, the mystery of Mary Jane. Because that's sort of, it does start focusing on her stuff more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely should have had a different storyline. They should have broken it into like 3 different parts or something, like instead of keeping it all under that.
Do you think this was it's possible that like no kid watching this at the time ever knew the title of any given episode?
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Even though I think they put them on the screen. But is it possible that like just saying chapter 12 or 10 pressures you to watch the next one and watch those delicious commercials?
Yeah. Well, that's what they learned from X-Men is people freaking out if they missed one. And so like, oh, but we won't do any of the good work.
Yeah, and remember, kids that are younger than us, if you miss one, that's it forever. As far as you knew at this time, it was a
rerun.
You might catch a rerun, but you don't get to choose your reruns.
Yeah. Another fucking Hobie episode?
Yeah, it's a crazy move. There's one more season of Spider-Man the Animated Series, right?
Should we do some on-air meeting?
Yes, we should.
Okay. I know that Cassie hates this and Mike fucking loves it for some reason. But
he's a freak for it.
Do we know, and I know we're like a couple months away, but do we know what we're doing next? And if not, do we do an on-air bracket? Because I hear, I haven't been working with Pop Filter for very long, but I've heard that they're into it, about what our next show is.
Yeah.
I think it's the only way.
Because what if instead of doing a bracket show, what if we did one battle every week? And if you miss, you're not voting.
If I get what you said.
I didn't fully. I'm still in the if mode, so.
I thought you were just talking to the listeners if they miss, but I'm like, well, you can listen to the podcast whenever you want. No, if we miss that week, we don't get to vote. I see.
You guys know that I always forget we're recording, and I just think I'm hanging out with my 2 bestie bros.
I only do this so other people can hear it.
Yeah, we have different motivations, but we can talk about that later.
What are there any cartoons that kind of bubble to your surface right now that you'd be like, well, yes, it's that?
I mean, I think that, and again, we've got a couple months to figure this out. This might be a little early, but the one I've heard bubbling the most is Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the Discord is talking about.
Okay.
I wonder how many seasons that there are. It's Cassie, did you even know this existed from 1994?
No, I did not.
It was a Sunday morning cartoon. So not
Sunday
even
morning.
After school. Not even after school good. Iron Man and Fantastic Four, and I watched all of them because they weren't on normal channels for poors like me. And even as a kid, I was like, this is subpar.
It's not a great sign, but
I just
we'll
think about
see.
Mike's mom walking in with like more disgusting sugar cereal and just being like, hey, Mikey, how are the cartoons? And he's like, they are subpar, mother. Another Saturday morning filled of subpar bullshit.
2 seasons, 13 episodes each of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
1994.
That'll be a quick one.
I would be down, but it would take away a bracket.
Then fuck it. I don't want to do that unless it wins. Because there's a spin-off. They like lost rights but gained rights. There's a spit called Spider-Man like Unlimited, I think, from this. And he instantly leaves the planet because they don't have the rights to so many of the characters. And so he's done then on a new planet.
Wait, does the cartoon
That's starting
explain
off
that?
strong.
Of animal people.
Starting off very strong.
He goes to the animal people planet from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 on Counter Earth.
Gotcha.
Oh, with like the otters with robot arms and shit.
Yeah, I don't think they have that. They just look like fucking Lion-O from Lino and
Thunder,
Friends.
Thundercats.
Thundercats asterisk.
Fucking, we might as well,
some
as far as
strong
Cassie's concerned, we
contenders.
might as well be talking about that train that came at the screen in 1902.
I heard it was scary. My condolences to you guys. I heard it was really freaky. Yeah, we do have some time to figure it out. If the listeners have any suggestions, feel free to send them. We got an email contact. It's not the end, but contact@popfilter.co. You can send those over.
We have a new email. That is, of course,
popfilterco@gmail.com.
popfilterco@gmail.com.
Hell yeah. Send your suggestions over there. Let's go back to this episode though, because we're not saying goodbye to it yet. We got to go to our webbies and give away these awards. I'm gonna start it off with best web zinger. Ryan, what do you got for it?
I had a couple, but just my entry is somebody says, "I'm tempted to offer you one last chance," and then the other person says, "Oh yeah," and I think it's Spider-Man says, "No," and then just punches him. It's just a funny rope-a-dope.
That's very good. Mike, what do you got?
I think it's the last line of the episode, and it makes fucking no sense. Mary Jane's like, "Our future looks bright." And he says, "I'd bet my webbing on it, lady. And man, have I got webbing to bet."
Yeah,
Ew.
dude.
What the fuck?
He's talking about jism.
Cum ropes?
I had to go back because I was like, what is he saying this? What does this even mean? Like, what? It was unhinged. For mine, I got, because it also didn't make sense. The Prowler like shows his little claws, and Peter's like, "Nice claws. You ever met my friend Wolverine?" And it's like, is it just to throw out a name? Like, well, this doesn't mean anything.
Remember, this is all connected.
What a name drop.
Wild.
Spider-Man, maybe bend over and pick up the name you just dropped. My other one was that somebody says, or Prowler says, that the balance of power in New York has finally shifted, as if it's him and not Black Adam, which is a ridiculous thing to say.
This is clearly The Rock ripped off the Prowler.
Did you guys ever see that social media, TikTok or whatever, where one of Conan's writers left Conan's show to go to the WWE and stole one of Conan's lines and made The Rock say it? And that line was something that Conan would say to the writers all the time, which is, "Why don't you go grab a tall glass of shut up juice?" And then it cuts to The Rock in a very dramatic WWE moment, and he delivers it with all of the chutzpah that we know that actor to have.
God.
That's so fucking amazing.
So good. Mike, I think I'm going to give the Web Zinger Award to you, though, because I don't understand why it was written and why we ended the season on that line specifically, but I'll give you 5 points for that.
They knew their audience was 12, turning 13, and it's time for stuff like this.
They needed to know. Now let's go to Kung Fu Grip or Best Move or Power. Mike, what do you got for that?
Kingpin's fucking, "I know how to electrocute you, but I also know how to rub it in your face" drone. That the whole thing, the panache of electrocuting you, but also being there to laugh at your face.
It's a very powerful move. Ryan, what do you got?
In my notes, it says, is Henry the name of Angela's new boyfriend?
Sure.
I think so, yes.
It says Prowler picks up Henry and throws him.
You gotta yeet a boy.
Dude, I swear to God, every single week, it's this award, as far as I'm concerned, should just be changed to Yeet of the Week, because that is what I always nominate.
It's the end of the season. This is time for changes.
Dude, I'm down.
And just as you were saying, us talking about cartoons that Cassie thinks are the train, Kung Fu Grip is like a thing action figures had in the 60s. So there's no way our listeners know what the fuck we're talking about when we call that award.
It's flawless naming. We nailed it. Those are very good ones. It's obviously the wrong one because the best move or power is making your old boss of the gang dress up as a waiter and serve drinks. So
what a Kung Fu Grip that action hero would be.
That classic move. I'm gonna give myself 8 points for that. Let's then go to most 90s thing. Ryan, what do you got?
It's Iceberg's everything. Just literally every non-ice aspect about him. It felt like watching Iceberg, it's like you imagine this writer's room of like 50-year-old white dude saying like, what's in right now? Yo-yos or slinkies? Then somebody's like, oh, black people are. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll just everything we can about that we'll just put into this character. The hair, the dialogue.
it definitely felt they're like, well, Tombstone's gone. There's no way we could bring Tombstone back.
But the difference between Hobie Brown, a black character who is a person, and Iceberg, who is just all like in living color skit.
Mike, what do you got for most 90s?
Cassie, you referenced it for your web zinger of the week. Ryan, for some reason, referenced it for his web zinger of last week. Nice claws. You ever hang out with my friend Wolverine? Because Ryan knew what the writers of this knew, what everybody in the 90s knew. You want ratings to go up? You fucking just whisper about Wolverine.
Man, a
Just a
gold
little
foil
whisper.
cover with Wolverine on it, you're going to sell 100,000 copies.
For mine, I have that classic villain laugh that Fisk threw out. Very 90s. I feel like it's something you really honed in on the 90s, and I'm glad they hit it so hard in this episode.
Hey, Cassie, who is doing a better overall Fisk performance? The voice actor from the show or Vincent D'Onofrio?
It's Vincent.
It's the most positive thing she's ever said about him.
I know.
Take it how you will. For that one, I will give that to Mike for the Wolverine. Mike, I'm going to give you 2 points for Mr. Wolverine.
Not even 3 for the amount of claws on one hand?
Nope, 2. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it.
Our next award is New York as a character. Ryan, what do you got?
Abandoned warehouse. And then I went to my local abandoned warehouse to try out my things because these people have apps on their phone that just point them to New York's bevy of abandoned warehouses.
There's so many of them. Rent-A-Space or Peerspace, whatever it is here.
Mm-hmm.
Just abandoned warehouses over there. Mike, what do you got for New York as a character?
It's got to be the most dangerous bridge in New York.
Yeah,
Gotta
dog.
go have a fight up on that bridge and go fly right into the Hudson.
That's exactly what I have. I have classic bridge battle. So according to the rules, since you've matched me, you win this one. I'll give you 10 points for it because it's such a good one.
Was that the Hudson, Mike?
It was the East River because it's
okay.
the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, but you don't want to
Of
go against
course.
Cassie because you might lose.
I knew all that.
He plays the long game. Our next one, Ryan, you need this one. Cassie, compliment me through this episode and you could get some bonus points.
I mean, I think that this is the most oft mentioned part, but I do fortunately have to say how now I finally understand why you make me and Mike walk around with trays, even though you only need one drink. And yet we both have to bring you out a drink. And I guess you decide if you want iced tea or Four Loko. But yeah, it's just, what an incredible thing you do to us, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm glad you get it. You get the vision now, and I'm glad you're on board. Mike, would you like to compliment me?
To quote my good friend Hobie Brown, Cassie, you have nice clothes, a full wallet, and the love of a good woman. And that's what I appreciate about you.
Ryan, I thought you were going to do it this week, but Mike just absolutely nailed that. So I'm so sorry. He's going to take this and he's going to sweep it. I'm going to give him 5 points for that. Ryan, somehow you got no points this week, and that feels very mean.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
That feels exceptionally mean on a finale. I'm going to give you 2 points because I feel like I was too mean. I got 8 points, and Mike, you just got a lot of points. You're the Spider-Man boy for the finale. How does it feel?
Thwip, thwip.
That's it.
Feels good.
Feels so good. Guys, that's it for this week, though. We have some websites that you should check out. Mike, can you please tell the people about it?
Popfilter.co is where all the stuff we make lives. And if you're on there and you're like, God damn, is this a good looking pop culture website? Go to our friends at cybersprout.net and they can make a website that's even better looking for you. Cybersprout.net, they're your partner for a digital world.
We also have some other shows on the network. Ryan, can you please tell the people about them?
Of course. Movie of the year. This week, if you go to this most recent episode, you are going to see who or what is the 1996 movie of the year. And you might get a little announcement about what we're doing next season. Although I think Mike announced that on last week's Superhero. But that's fine. We'll do it again. It's
okay.
1999. Part 2.
9999.
And it's got a theme song, so you got to check it out. We're also on Instagram. You should give us a follow at Your Pop Filter, and you give us a follow on YouTube too. We got some good videos out there if you want to listen to our shows that way. Find us by searching popfilter.co. We got an email, and Mike, I would love it if you would hit the people with the email again.
Email us at popfilterco@gmail.com.
That's it. Such a good one. Email us over there. Next week, guys, can you take a guess of what we are talking about?
Ding dong, ding dong. Here comes the bride, probably.
I believe it's wedding season. We're going to still be talking about Spider-Man the Animated Series, but it's going to be a big one. We're kicking off the next season, so be sure to watch that one. That is it for this week, though. For Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For me, I'm me. Bye, everyone.